Mm. Are there any questions?
I have a question, Stuart. Chris.
Yes, Chris?
Stuart, I just read today your posting of 107 and 108 from your Tantra series. And man, it feels to me, often I've heard you describe our work as a form of Kundalini yoga, but it really seems like it's Tantra um, from what you've described in your posts. Would you say that's true?
The same thing, Chris.
Oh, I see.
I mean, Tantra is just transformation. You
Mhm.
know, it has all this erotic and sexual, you know, innuendos to it. But it's all about transformation. And there is no real transformation unless the Kundalini is activated. And the activation of Kundalini allows energy to move through the sex to the base of the spine. And all of the human elements begin to get transformed into a state of spiritual enlightenment. So, there's no difference. I mean, yeah, there are different words, and probably if you looked in Webster's dictionary, they have different meanings, but basically it's the same thing.
I
What
see.
Bernie taught was perhaps the most advanced form of tantric meditation that there probably is on the earth. And it's all about transformation. It's all about change. It's all about, or a better word, dialectic, bringing together opposites, eliminating polarity, and giving birth to oneself. That's what Tantra is all about. And it's what Kundalini is all about. It's what any kind of spiritual life should be all about. Not a bunch of rules and regulations and not a bunch of doctrines people have to follow, but how to use this amazing teaching to effectually change oneself, effectually transform oneself into a child of God. That's what Tantra is all about. That's what Kundalini is all about. And, they're words and they have different meanings when you begin to interpret and define and, define your terms. I used to hear that when I was a kid. What? What terms? It's all about the transformation of the human to the spiritual. And that's
Can
what
I,
that book is about. That's all that book is about. It's called Tantra, but it's all about transformation of the human level to the spiritual.
can I ask you another question, Stuart?
Yeah, of course.
Um, in the art that you have is so remarkable. And I was just taken with a statue of Mani Kavachakar, and I've never seen anything like that. And what is that being?
Oh, Mani Chana, which one is that?
It says 107.
Oh, I think it's a saint.
Oh,
It's a saint, but you see, look, one of the highest points of Indian art with shoulder bronzes created between about the 9th and 12th century. And they did this, I mean, it's just exquisite. It's total transformation of all of humanity into spiritual is what that art is all about. And that statue happens to be one of the better ones I've ever seen. It's an amazing statue. And I think it's about, you know, an arhat or, a seer, a seeker, a spiritual person. But the quality of the sculpture is completely amazing. It's
yeah.
amazing. But that's that period. I love that period of Indian art between about the 8th, 9th century and actually the in South India and about the 12th century. then it gets, the next period, it gets a little bit the same kind of thing, but it's a little bit heavier. It
Mm,
doesn't, oh my God, it's just sexy, It's so that lightness of being, that
mhm.
divine quality that those sculptures have.
Thank you. It's really amazing.
Yeah, I hope you'll read that book. It is kind of I shouldn't say it myself, but it is kind of an amazing book.
It is.
I mean, as I say, I don't even know I didn't write that book. It just came through me. I swear, as I'm sitting here and breathing, when I read that, I cannot believe I wrote it. It just came through me. And it's part of the evolution of this meditation practice that made it possible for something on that level to come through.
Well, I'm a big fan of your books, but I think it's the best writing I've ever read that
Oh,
you.
Chris, you say that after every book.
That's true. That's true. Okay.
Tell the world, let people read these books. I don't know. For some reason, I'm not supposed to get beyond a certain group of people, but the whole world should read these books. I mean, this book would, in 1,000 years, they'll probably put it on a bookshelf with Rumi. You know, somebody is going to discover it.
Yeah. Mhm.
Some scholar is going to discover it and make a big deal, and they'll put it on a bookshelf with Rumi.
It's really good.
Anyway, it's finished. Thank God. My God, I'm finished. I feel really good about it, but then it opens up a whole now what? Now what? What do you do? How do you top this?
Yeah.
I guess, spiritual enlightenment tops everything, huh?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question?
I'm sorry, which book are you talking about, please?
It's called Tantra,
Tantra.
and
Okay.
you can't find it in the bookstores because you can find it on my website. It's been posted on my website. There's 108 short essays. Each one of them has a sculpture or a painting of, everything from Hindu to Buddhist to Christian, early. I happen to be a great lover of early Christian illuminated manuscripts. And there's a lot of them there. And there's Muslim stuff, Islamic stuff. I try to incorporate the whole spectrum. And then there's my writings. There's what I wrote that goes along with those. I don't analyze the paintings. I just write, and then I choose something that's fantastic to go with it.
She should choose the tab that says posts.
Huh?
She should choose the tab that says posts on your website.
Okay.
Don't understand what you said.
I,
Thank you.
I
I
think she
did.
understood.
Yes. Thank you.
What did you say?
I'm just telling her where to find that on your website.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. All right. You can go to my website. It's there.
Okay. Thank you.
Stuart, Chikor,
Yes. Sure.
I felt like I was having a little trouble focusing, but I managed to put my attention on the hara, and I was feeling intense tingling in the back of my head and neck, and it felt like it was just direct. Does the energy ever go directly, or does it always cycle through the chakras?
It always cycles through the chakras, and it also goes directly. There's a direct link between the heart chakra and the crown. There's a direct link between the third eye and the crown. And, it's an incredible mandala because once you get the energy making the complete cycle, then it starts the heart up, ear up, the hara up, and you have this incredible mandala. you become a mandala, you know, of energy flowing from every chakra to the crown. Yeah, yes, that's what happens. But the first thing is you got to be grounded. I keep saying this 100 million times because that energy is so powerful. If you're not grounded, it's going to really space you out. You know, all the good it can do also damage if people are not grounded inside. And that's why I tell people drugs are very dangerous because drugs will activate that energy. You know, LSD, marijuana, hashish, that ayahuasca stuff, it will activate that energy. But if you don't have the grounding inside, oh, you know, that energy is too powerful for our systems to deal with. So, you know, yes, every chakra, when you finally get grounded and have that cycle of energy flow, then every chakra will be part of that mandala of energy moving from the chakra to the crown and then down again. It's like a spiral, you know? It's really unbelievable how this thing works. And it consumes us. Understand? It consumes us. It forces us into a state of total surrender, of letting go of everything. And yet, you know, we can't get enlightenment unless we learn also how to be human beings. And human beings are required to have a certain way of living in this world that gives them the strength to, you know, be happy people, have a, you know, joy in their life, love in their life, and at the same time to be able to deal with all of the, use a title from another one of my books, the madness falling from the sky, you know? You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question? I don't understand why people leave. You know, sometimes the best part of this class is the question and answer session, you know? And, you know, like half a dozen people just kind of, when the class is over, bing, they're gone. Where they have to go to, I don't know. But it's like the best part of the class, this the questions and answers and the level of realization that that this whole thing reaches is quite remarkable, you know? I don't know what could be more important than that, you know? What, you have a date? You gotta go meet somebody? You have to have coffee with your best friend? I mean, it can wait 20 minutes. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
I do have a question.
Yes.
Um, Sometimes I have trouble to go to sleep after the meditation because it wakes me up, and here is very late, and I wake up very early tomorrow. So, do you have some advice?
You know, sometimes you don't have to sleep that much. Sometimes you have so much energy, you know, you understand that you don't need to, you know, and, you know, you wait a half hour, an hour, you'll get tired and you'll fall asleep. But sometimes that, you know, you can, I mean, there are times I stay up all night and the next day I have, you know, it's like ridiculous sometimes the stuff I have to do. But this class has so much energy in it, and I mean, it just, you know, maybe there are nights you don't need as much sleep. I mean, I get up 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning every morning, you know. And and mornings are the most difficult period for me. Man, I can hardly walk in the morning. But it's the energy, an hour later, this energy is flowing and projects and things to do. And, I wouldn't worry about it, Anna. You're doing very well. And I wouldn't worry about that. I mean, one of the things I've learned puts me to sleep, believe it or not, is I watch a movie on, Max or Netflix or whatever. And by halfway through the movie, I can barely keep my eyes open, I go to sleep. It's like a good drug. The movies are so boring and terrible mostly, like a drug. Puts you right to sleep. I went watching Charlie Chaplin movies just to get some laughter and some fun, Marx Brothers movies, It's something that there's a little juice in it and fun. And even they put me to sleep.
Thank you.
The only thing that doesn't put me to sleep is a meditation class, I tell you frankly. It just energizes every single part of. I can feel it in the tips of my fingers, the top of my head, the tips of my toes, that energy. And I'm not a kid anymore, for God's sake. I'm not 30 years old, 40 years old, and to be doing what I do, my God, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to be doing have the kind of life I have. And I think ultimately, if I had any goal in this, is ultimately to make more people teachers of this work so that this work can really get out and touch people. I mean, Jennifer came here and she's been an angel. It's been extraordinary what she's done here to help me. And she's now teaching. We started a class in one of the churches, the UU church here, and people are coming. They don't even know about me. It's her class, and that's the way it should be. It's her class and for her to grow. And I told her she will grow more than all the people that come to study there if she does this, And I'd like to do that with every one of you some way, so that this thing can really have a life, continue. I'm not getting younger, for God's sake. Does anyone else have a question? I think next year I'm going to try to get a house where people can come and stay in a week or 2 weeks, or I don't want an ashram. I don't want to commune. I've done it. I've been there. I've done that. I don't want to go back and do that again. But people could come and get training and stay for a few weeks and go back home and then, come back 6 months later and stay for a few. The way Rudy did, when he went to India, he didn't hang out in India. He went and got his training, went for 3 weeks. And I think it's one of my goals now to find a place where I can do that and, be hospitable to people who want to come here and get training. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, if there are no more questions, God bless you all. Thank you. There'll be a meditation on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart.
Great
Thank
evening.
you.